Shalom, shalom wa ahaba, Miss Bakash, shalom wa ahaba. Peace and love, family, peace and love. I want to say shalom to the whole house of Yasharel, all 12 tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to wherever we've been driven to the lands of our captivity. I also want to say shalom to the sojourners, the Gentiles, and the foreigners, and all those who give thanks, honor, and praises to the Elohim or God of the Bible and his only begotten Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, to whom many of you refer to as Christ. Hallelujah. Mishpachah, today we want to talk about Barack Hussein Obama and House Negro politics that no longer work for so-called black folks in America. Now, it was utterly disturbing that this guy had the audacity to come out here and try to lecture those of us in the black community who are no longer on the Democratic plantation, but especially the black man whom he singled out, you know, that he would have the audacity to come forth and tell us that we are out of pocket for even thinking about voting for Orange Man Bad or Donald Trump. And the hypocrisy of this Negro to come out and make it seem like being black folks, we have no control over our own decisions and our own vote. And this is the same party that comes out and tells the same black men that if he were to impregnate a woman and that woman decided to uh eliminate the fetus within the womb, that this man has no say over her body or that choice. These are the same people. The same people that tells you that it's her body, her choice, but forced a snake bite on people back during certain events were going on in our country, and fired people and told people that it was not your choice in order to get that snake bite. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Picard? These are the same people, the same hypocrites. And now these people are going crazy because we have realized that your Marxist feminist ideology no longer works for us, especially those of us who happen to be male or men, who happen to be so-called black, and who happen to be heterosexual. You understand that, Mr. Picard? Because what we have learned about the Democratic Party is that y'all do not care about black men unless we are dead or homosexual. You see what I'm saying, Mr. Picard? And I'm really one of those people that believe Barack Obama swing that way anyway. You understand that? But you have no ground to come out here and educate brothers, which I do not consider you one of us. You know, Mr. Born and raised in Indonesia and in Hawaii, going to schools that cost $30,000 a year, and ain't never really been around no black folks probably until you got the South Side Chicago, which I think you were planted there, because I do feel like you're some kind of Manchurian candidate and something, you know, and I'm one of those people that do believe that there is elements of secret societies that are out here breeding politicians. You know what I mean? In order to place these people in position to serve certain purposes. You understand? And we are no longer falling for that foolishness. Like Malcolm X, one of my favorite people in history. Malcolm X up on the wall. I got some of my favorite people in history up there. But you see, one of them is El Hajj Malik Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X. And he said that when 2/3 of your people are responsible for putting a certain party into the presidency, and then that party does absolutely nothing for you, and every 4 years they come back to your community after doing absolutely nothing for you, and you have house Negroes out here still being proud to call themselves Democrats, you are not only a fool, but you are also a traitor to your community. You understand that? And that is what I look at people like Obama and all these other house Negroes is out here telling us to go and vote for people, policies, politicians that keep us in poverty. You see what I'm saying? When the Marxist elements of these people is all over everything that they do. When you go back and you study Aristotle, you will see that tyrants prefer foreigners because they bring in the foreigners and make them loyal to themselves, because they don't trust their own people, because they know their people do not approve of their rule. You see what I'm saying? This is why these jokers opened up the border and is trying to bring in a new class of voter for themselves, because they are showing you elements of tyranny. Karl Marx, who many of them are fond of and whose ideology is taught in college. I always wondered as a young historian, when I was going through college to get my bachelor's degree in history, why in the world are y'all teaching us Marxism? You understand? But thankfully I did learn it, because now I can identify it when I see it. You know, like one of the elements of Marxism is to blame your enemy for everything that you are doing in order to sow confusion in the minds of the people while you are attempting to overthrow the government. You see that, Ms. Picard? That is why they always calling Trump a dictator, and they always saying he's a threat to democracy, and they always saying he gonna use the government to lock up his political enemies. That's exactly what they are doing. It's Marxism 101, Ms. Picard. And I forgot who said it, but when the government fears the people, you got liberty. But when the people fear the government, you got tyranny. You understand that? This is why they always trying to disarm you and take your weapons, because right now they fear you. Because you got 300 million armed people out here that are willing to fight for their freedom. You see what I'm saying? So this is why they try to reverse that by taking your weapons and then make you fear the government so they can reign over you. And Mr. Obama, Mr. House Negro, you know what I'm saying? And for a history nugget, do many of you know that every potentially successful slave revolution throughout slavery was stopped by a snitch, by a House Negro, by somebody that went and told on the people that was trying to do something for themselves? Oh yeah, the collaborators, the House Negroes. You see what I'm saying, Ms. Picard? And you can have this in every element of faction and class of society. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying just because you work behind a desk or you are a white collar worker that you are a house Negro. Nah, because you got some house Negroes is out there working construction. You see what I'm saying? It's a mind state. It's a mentality, you know. And then this joker want to get up there and try to talk down and lecture so-called black folks on voting for the Democratic Party, when everywhere that we've put y'all in power is some of the worst places for us to live. Almost every democratically ran city got the highest crime rates, got the poorest schools, got the highest rates of joblessness, as well as poverty. You see what I'm saying? And then if you in one of these big cities like Atlanta, Detroit, and Houston, you're the most disease infested. You see what I'm saying? Down there in Houston, you got babies being born with syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, and everything else. So the kind of people that are coming bring you Megan Thee Stallion at a political event, get up there twerking and promoting the same sexually debaucherous behavior that got you disease infested, the same culture that got you in poverty. You know, these people come and promote these things and these people to you, and at the same time try to make you feel like Donald Trump is not the morally correct choice. When y'all the people that's promoting all this debauchery, promoting LGBTQIA, you know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris' husband, Mr. Doug Imhoff, done knocked up the nanny and done smacked one of his ex-girlfriends till she did a 360 in the middle of the street. And then y'all trying to tell me that Trump, because he done had a couple of divorces, he ain't the moral choice. You see what I'm saying, Ms. Picard? This is what I call foolishness, and that House Negro politic bull jive is not working on so-called black folks no more, on so-called black folks no more. So Mr. Barack Hussein Obama need to go sit down somewhere, Ms. Picard. You see what I'm saying? He really need to go sit down somewhere, because we're not listening to that no more. You understand? So we are here to tell Mr. Obama, the Obamas, him and Michelle, Michael, or whatever that thing is he's sleeping next to every night, that the jig is up. You see what I'm saying? And free-thinking black folks is going to use politicians as the tools that they are, and we going to select accordingly what best benefits our family structure, keep the government out of our lives, out of our pockets. You understand that, Ms. Picard? And keep our rights secure so that we can have the right to freely speak the way we wish to speak, freely worship the way that we want to worship, and freely bear arms to defend those God-given rights. You understand that, Ms. Picard? So Mr. Obama and every other House Negro that think like him, you need to go sit down somewhere, because we ain't listening no more. And with that, Mishpachah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And always remember to keep the fire burning. A little more oil in my lungs. Hallelujah, Mishpachah. Keep your eyes open. Stay prepared so that you don't have to get prepared. And remember that your redemption is near. Until we meet again, Mishpachah. Kumar Yasharel. Kam Yasha'Allah. Rise Yisrael. Shalom, Shalom. Salama, Mishpachah. Hallelujah.